heart. Boy, I had to make my point about this wave. Watch for the sharks bounce. Sharks bounce.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he powers his way up past the 30. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Second down, Mayfield. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now Mayfield. And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always, that is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
But, is that changing in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, free safety was there, no gain.
And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Cameron Brate, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Steps away to his left. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. To throw, Mayfield. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's Sylvester Williams there to bring him down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down.
Detroit!
On third down, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
They go play action here on first down. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. Cameron Meredith, his second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. On the return comes Drake. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And now let's see how the young rookie bounces back. First drive and interception. How will he handle it?
And I think this is where your leaders step up for you. Your veteran guys put a big arm around him. All right, guy, had one. Don't worry about it. Let's get out there and let's roll. And I'm also eager to see what the offensive coordinator is going to do. How much confidence does he have in him? Does he go safe now, or does he continue to run the full game plan?
Mayfield now on second down. Dancing to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions,
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Working out of the gun, Winston looking for the end zone. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half, a second one not to be. So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
No, check, Patriot!
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now a second down throw for Mayfield. And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Here's Winston. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, it's Drake. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Mayfield on play action. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He may try and run for this. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
And another example of why Baker Mayfield went #1 in the draft. His ability to confound defensive coordinators. They played him for the pass. They covered it well. He takes off with his legs and scrambles for a big gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He'll buy some time right. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. And now it's second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Hightower in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coach. And they'll have a look back at our first half as well.
Let's convert. Hey, 125.
Winston does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first. About a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his...
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are.
And he's going to go down again. John Timu in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Winston. A dump on Anderson. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And Hopkins' kick is good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They go play action. Mayfield sliding out of the pocket. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Mayfield now, flush to his right. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Mayfield looks to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Mayfield to throw it, being chased out left. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A gain of 39 that time.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Final play of the half, Mayfield rolling to his right. And that is incomplete. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff Spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go play action. Winston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kenny Clark with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now Winston. It's caught by Meredith right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Winston now from the 50. And Boyd has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
False start, offense.
Well, it was a third and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
And he's got Moncrief. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we...
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Cameron Brate with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the 49ers continue to roll.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2. And now here's another interception. Delvin Breaux with a pick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. C.J. Anderson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and